Hello, comrades. It's Premier Rever, and we should have an exciting episode. We have a concrete plant and an asphalt plant. Let's put this thing on so I can see where my mouse is. There we go. Concrete and asphalt bitumen plant. And one day we'll have an asphalt plant. I guess that's where you make the asphalt. I don't know. Or a refinery, anyway, where we make the bitumen. But I wanted to. The reason I think this episode might be a little bit exciting, and at least in the very beginning, is I've been thinking about this, and pretty shortly here we would start building our new railroad. And I thought, you know what? I'd like to make a new rule and see how it goes. I don't know if it'll go well at all, but we do have our fancy roads. We're all, working on this one diligently. So it seems to be taking forever with those panels. And I did look over here, just so you guys know, we do have panels in here. It's just I think we could use more trucks, which is something else. We're getting to the point where the money's really starting to rack up after the changes that we've made and the improvements. What is going on with no power? We've had no power in the past. It's been... Yeah, so what are we doing here? Why are we not getting 5 workers? Is there something in particular? Because there's no school, but that's like one person. No, is it just you've been being gypped? Yeah, we really need to get the trains going over here. We are working diligently towards that. There we go. It's back up and going. Yeah, so now the good news is that we don't lose power long enough. And this has happened in the past, and it's one of the reasons. I mean, I'm working diligently. A lot of times I get comments, and I know they're based. I try to be forgiving. At least I have in the past. I'm going to be less forgiving, I decided, towards people who leave comments that are just negative or nasty in some way. And even if you're not totally nasty, then I'm just going to be like not totally nasty back. Like, why should I have to put up with your negative comments? I'll just delete them, or if I'm in the mood, I'll respond. Kind of like telemarketers, you know what I mean? Like, people who leave nasty comments are like telemarketers. But in any event, sometimes I know it's because you just don't watch the whole thing, because I could just tell because I went over that, and then either that or if you did, you weren't paying attention, and then you left a comment because you missed what I was saying. But in any event, we are working as diligently as we can on getting this rail thing going so that we can get this going so that we can get that. And now also, in fairness to you guys, I know that sometimes it can be a week or more, right, before in between the episodes where we talk about this, and it's been a while since we visited up here. Just so you guys know, when I talk about working on it diligently, it's one of the reasons we've been slowing down the rest of our construction. And I think we've got most of these the rail things that we're going to need built. Now we will probably need another one up there. Yeah, we should think about that. I mean, we're not really in a hurry, and I don't want to get into it too much today, and I really did totally just distract myself. I did want to talk about the rails, but there we go. I also wanted to make sure this was being built and worked on, and it should be. I want to make a rule that no railroad tracks to the other side over here. Now the question is, do we have railroad tracks to Reverville even? I'm thinking maybe not, right? Like, no railroad tracks. We could have maybe railroad tracks across here. Right? Like this could, because this isn't really a big part of the river, right? And then we could possibly supply stuff here. So let's say no railroad tracks through Reverville there, even though I know we just moved our construction office. All right, so I'm just going to demolish the work we did on the railroad track bridges, at least over that far, right? And the reason is, I want to force ourselves. Well, the reason is because, the geology isn't right to be able to cross here. It could support these little roads, but it won't be able to support the weight of the trains. Actually, the reason is I really want to force us to use or I want to have a good reason. I mean, I know I'm just making a reason up, but I want it to be like a believable-ish kind of reason as to why would you even use these ships? To me, there's a good reason for exporting things to some degree, right? though I'm really not sure how these ships are any better than the trains, right? Like, I just don't see that coming. That we're going to be sitting here saying, "Oh, these trains are, or these ships are just so much more efficient than the trains." I've gotten some comments from Radomir in the past about them, and just looking at what they do, and I think they're just very limiting and expensive. And look, I'm glad they added them. It adds a whole nother dimension. But if you're like me, where you tend to like to be logical about why you're doing things, it just doesn't seem like you'd be able to beat the trains. But that's one of the reasons we want to kind of force ourselves into using these. So I'm still picturing that we would have a harbor here, but now, this harbor has a whole new meaning. Like, because here's the thing, like, why wouldn't I have just built a train over to here and exported the bitumen, right? The excess. So now we could do that kind of importing and exporting from a port. And when I say importing, I mean distributing. So like, we could have a ship that rides over to here, say, and drops off some oil or fuel. Now we'll have to get rid of this bridge. I don't think the trains would fit underneath it, but we're working on that. So I'm wondering if we don't come over here for like a depot, maybe. I don't know. I mean, this might be a good place here, where the land comes flatter a little bit. And then the other place I want to talk about building up is maybe over into here. So we could possibly have like some kind of a port over in this area, so that we would actually have like decent reasons for all of this stuff. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. All right, so in any event, there we go. So how are we making out with our conveyors and such? Slowly but surely. All right, so the thing I'd like to do while we're waiting for this is talk about what would speed some things up here or there. And one of the things that we don't need anymore is like these buses going to there. So for the moment, we should probably put them someplace. And even though I know in a minute, probably. All right, so there we go. So they're no longer going to the firehouse. Hopefully we'll get enough people from here. Just made, like, we are losing people, though. It's not so bad. Now, one of the problems that we had over here is that we weren't getting any kindergarten staff. And I wanted to point out a problem. In this case, this place is just like a city on one foundation, like, with so many people. But I wanted to point out that, like, we weren't getting anybody to the kindergarten, and I think it's because they were just really being dumb about all going to the school or the university. Like, so I cut down the number of people going to the school and the university, and then all of a sudden they started going to work at the store. Now I could probably increase it again, but I wanted to say that is one of the reasons that I specify where the cities go. Now I'm really not liking that voltage thing going on there, and I've seen that before, and I don't know if it's because we're just not getting enough people up here. And I probably should have run up here as soon as it was happening. Man, I see 2 buses in a row, and this is the problem with the buses. You just can't use them for anything that's even slightly critical. Like, it stinks that they get used for firehouses fairly often. Antonio's suggestion that you just import people to a house if you have a remote fire is better than the dumb way they do the buses in this game. So anyway, all right. So in any event, here we are back here. And that is one of the reasons that I tend to assign out of the house. Now, usually I have like 17 little houses, right? Or many little houses like we do over here, where I can say, okay, well, this house is specified to go to this place. These 2 are divided up amongst the things. Now, the other thing we could probably end up doing over here is maybe loosening up on that a little bit as time goes on, right? And just have like 1 or 2 of these houses being assigned to things. So this guy's just totally unspecified. But I don't have the faith that some of you have in these people figuring out where to go. And because we were about to lose all of our citizens over here. I probably should have fixed it on camera, but literally we were going to lose every single citizen because so many of them wouldn't go to work because of the kindergarten. You know what I mean? Like, so it got itself into a funk where if you had assigned them to a specific place, then they wouldn't have had the same issue. All right. So anyway, let's. So we got a few people in here now. Now that we're almost like, it's not going to be two separate countries, but it's going to be like the Philippines or something, where we have a big division, you know, between one side of our country and the other side of the country. You know, like at that point, I don't know if there's any better example, but so we won't be able to cross this water with anything but a ship, which would be pretty cool. Now, we're not going to design ships today. I want to take care of some other things, like getting some other design work done first. Mostly, let's come in here. This was something I was going to do the other day and then kind of distracted myself. Oh, not here. Mod. We're going to come to residential, and we're going to get our brick 174. Now, this is going to be a little bit awkward. Yeah, I love that. The best thing about this mod, or this update, is the fact that we can now press control and not have these things connect. You probably don't agree, but that's all right. You don't have to. There's no law that says we have to agree on things. There we go. All right, so now let's put a road in. Now, another thing I'd really like to start getting to is I forget what I was going to say. What would I love to get to? I don't know. I'd love to get to footpaths. Right, yeah, how am I doing that? Let's do from here. Can we go right there? Yeah, it's a bit much, but yeah, see, it's making it more. Can I do something? Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can make it. I didn't want that to be so curved, right? I kind of, yeah, if that one goes close, yeah, this should come tighter. Right, and then we'll have, right, that follows the pattern. Now this could probably, well, I think it's okay. I mean, they can, I don't know where they're going to be going, but chances are that that's not going to block them too bad getting out of there. But yeah, but these we should definitely get hooked up once we, like, maybe I'll leave that. Well, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Why can't we? Oh, because I got the wrong. Okay. There you go. Oops. I can't use the delete tool to get that. Yeah, so this. Yeah, and then I also was hooking up these. Okay, so can we get you out of there? Go that way. Can we get you go past here? No. Nah, and I don't feel like rebuilding that just for this guy to get out there. We'll see. Again, hopefully that doesn't cause problems. Now, one of the reasons I didn't do this right away, because I knew this would be a little bit more of a project, because I think we need to get more things. And now that we're into the 1980s, and I think what we could do maybe here, let's see, do we have modded stores? Do we have any kind of store shop? Find goods or goods? Prefab. Yeah, I think these are just little tiny itty bitty things. Bazaar, yeah. I should have gotten a. Maybe we will some point. We'll get a mod that. Yeah, we do want to look at the economy always. Yeah, I'm thinking we're ready for like a big shopping center. Now, big shopping center. I'm just wondering. Do we put it like down here? Spin it around? Put it at the bottom of the egg in anticipation of more people working here. Have it so it doesn't, well, you know what, I would have it so it connects. But then, yeah, and then right across the street do we put, or do we start doing like tram stops around the town? Then again, with their extra walking distance, putting it right in the middle really does. Yeah, I mean, I don't like that, and I like that. It's ugly. And then what else do we need? We're gonna need the parking spaces, yeah, because, well, now, you know what? Let me build it and see. I don't have a regular big store, but it might actually make sense to distribute to this bigger station, because what I was going to say, well, maybe we'll do this just for a space holder. I know, you know what, we'll use this one because it's better, the old one. Yeah, let's line that up so it looks... Right, so that way we could park trucks there like we did here. Now, the other thing is, do we even need this little one if we build the big one? Maybe that'll free up some space. And then there was a suggestion to go around here with like a, don't get rid of this bus stop. We can put another one down this way. So, you know, will people here be able to walk all the way down to that store? I'm not sure. I think they will. It's looking like they probably could. And these seem to be the furthest people, though you have to watch footpaths. So there we go. And like I said, the other question will be, will those people be able to get all the way up there? So that's one thing I wanted to get designed and done. Let's go back over to footpaths here for a second. Turn those ready to go. And then how are we doing at this construction office? And what I'm thinking of is that we'll tend to have 2 active construction offices. So this guy got done the alcohol thing here. And I was thinking that we should probably send these trucks of alcohol export. Let's switch them over. Alright, so they're going to go, instead of going to the distillery, right. Now I have decided that when it comes to like this specific aspect, in my opinion, that's important to note, this, when you have this situation where you have to sit there and do this, the new things can save you. That is like one of the pluses to the new distribution centers. Now, is that game changing? Not really. I mean, it's not game changing. You're still accomplishing the same thing. But like, if I had another export, what do you call it, distribution center over here, it would have been easier just to say, okay, I want you to export everything from this building, right? And then changed it from one building to the other. Now, is it easier to build the whole building for what I'm doing with 3 trucks? And actually, we might even want a 4th truck there, right? Because it looks like we're building up some. So it's good that we got that done. And then, so we'll get that exported. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we have this. Oh, this guy's sitting there with crops. This building is full. Okay, why are you sitting there with crops? I don't know that I care that you have crops on you. Alright, so in any event, what I really wanted to do is hope to get this done. Oh, where is it? There we go. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so now, of course, we went the wrong way. No. You set to work on this. Good. Good. Hopefully you're coming. Are you heading back here? Yeah, you're heading up this way. Hopefully you don't run into your buddy. No, doesn't look like... Well, yeah, I tried to set this guy on the other one, and I also set this guy hopefully to work on things that they wouldn't be able to work on from here. But then I was going to send one of these trains towards working over this way, right? Towards our new bridges, which we're not going to do. So now I think what I'm going to do is keep one train down here to start electrifying this end of things while the other guy starts working on this one. And then when it comes to the other side, when we start building train tracks, we're going to have to do something different. But over here now, what we need to do is get some trucks for gravel and things and stuff, right? We have to supply the things. So let's go ahead and start doing that. Now, do we have anybody who's... Yeah, we have a truck or two that's really... Yeah, let's just steal these guys, because these are the good ones to use, these older flatbeds that aren't as big. I'd like to start using those in certain tasks. So we're really not doing much construction over here at all. All right. So what are we going to need? We're going to really need steel and prefab panels. I'm not even going to worry about bricks at this moment. And we could probably get a covered hall. Yeah, do we have like an old... Well, I don't know. We should probably just get rid of all the old covered halls. Yeah, you know, we're just going to buy a new one. Because it'd be better to go to the border. That's what we're already doing. Go to the border for the electrical components. Yeah, and the other guy's definitely going to need a bunch. So let's go ahead and buy another covered hall over here. And then because we're already sort of short on dumpers, let's just get the cover hub up before I forget and start talking about something else. And right, so I'm going to get 2 more dumpers, even though I don't know that we'll always need them over here. Right, and then let's get all of these vehicles open and off to the side. Right, there's my dumpers. Open halls. So the covered hall here. Yeah, I should probably start thinking about distributing these things, huh? Until we can make them ourselves. But for now, we're just going to have this guy. You know what? We need one more truck. We're just going to have this guy come into here. Unload that. And wait. You can get started. Another thing we're going to need. Let's go get it before I forget it. It's a cistern. Oil tank. Alright. And... how are we doing with our oil? I mean, at some point we're going to have a lot of oil. It might just be better to, yeah, see, we're not really, every time I've looked in our biofuel, we're not using, just so you guys who watched or didn't watch, like, we're not importing oil anymore, but at the same time, we're not, I was just, well, let's see, let's look at last month. Yeah, see, we've kind of fixed it, but at the same time, we're not exporting any, which would make sense because we're not making that. That's nice and clean last month. That's exactly what I would want to see, like some power, some, we're not exporting anything we don't want to, and as far as the importing goes, we're not, we are, there goes, importing a little bit of fuel this month. We didn't do any last, oh, we did too. What am I saying? Yeah, so that, it's good that we're not exporting. I'm not worried about not importing it as much I was worried about not exporting it and then importing it. Like, you know, why spend that extra money export, like, because you don't get as much money for it. All right, so let's do the same thing here. Let's just have this guy go up to the border, though, and buy the fuel, because it'll be cheaper. All right, and then get out of my way. And then eventually we'll take him off of that, of course. And I don't think we can't put him in there. So he'll have to come and sit at the station. Like, you can't transfer fluids through that thing. Even though they will, the truck will go there and it'll look like you can. You can't. All right, so there we go. Cistern done. So that'll be fuel for our things. And then open hauls. Yeah, one of them needs to come into here and get some steel. No. Right, and then Right, and then the other one needs to get some prefab panels, which are in high demand. Oh, looks like we're catching up. And what I did do is I put 2 more trucks on quarry stone duty. Right, you can start. I'm going to show you in a minute. And then dumpers. You just want to run from there to there. Yeah, you know what, I can do this. Right, unload, load. Make sure I got that part right. Yep. Start, go, shrink that because it always opens on me. But yeah, up here I put in some more of these bigger dumpers. So we now have 4. I took one of the small trucks off, but then if you notice, we've got this backed up. So, which is perfect, right? Like, you know, like have a truck sitting there waiting. Hopefully we could get to the point we'd have a truck sitting here waiting all the time. Now we don't, and this is why somebody said, well, there's no point in having 3. Well, yeah, there is, because we really need a truck sitting here waiting with quarried stone at all times, and we can't get it because we're up here. Like, in other words, this mine is pretty close to maxed out. We can make sure that's true with the longer ride, right? Like, does this truck get in there and there's never a gap? We might have to put 1 more truck on there. But then the next thing to do would be to do this. Now, by the way, these are silly little gas stations, but I like them, right? Like, they really actually do a good job. And I don't know that, I mean, 12 tons of fuel, like, is a pretty good amount of fuel. I don't think we're getting fuel to them because we're just not producing much with our biofuel plant. And then, oh, you know what? Speaking of instructions, okay, we'll get that built. You know, like these other ones hold, let's see, I can't tell from there. The regular gas stations, how much do they hold? Like 70 or 90 or something? No, wrong one. Yeah, 70. I mean, so obviously that's a lot more. But a lot of times when I look, I mean, if you've got regular fuel delivery, you won't run out. So, and I was curious, is like with these should be getting as good a fuel as anyone. See, and they have like 11 tons. So, I mean, we're not buying fuel because of that. And we're not buying fuel because, I mean, that. Now, of course, the delivery truck could have just gone by a minute ago, but, and we'll keep an eye when we have like a real good steady flow. Now, the problem I had with like this guy, I think is just in too busy of an area. All right, but even then, look, he's got fuel in there now. I mean, I don't even know that that's true, that we need this bigger gas station, but I wanted to put the bigger gas station here in particular because, you know, I felt like there are a lot of trucks that go by here, and I wanted to be able to sit a tanker in there. So as far as that goes, like this guy would probably be the minimum that I would build because, look, there you go, he has none. Now, it could be because this one's more popular, but the problem here, I mean, he holds 39. He's just out because we're not delivering it here enough, right? And it's probably one of the reasons the other ones may be out, but yeah, we're just not making enough fuel with that one little biofuel plant for all the stuff we're using it for. Now, is that because the biofuel plant, or do we just have not have enough people? I mean, we got 22 workers. You're not going to do too much better than that, and we got plenty of corn. So, yeah, we're just maxed out our little biofuel plant, and that's okay. We're working somewhat diligently towards over there. All right, so we're going to build that fuel station over here, and we should probably, I want to try to get some of these little projects done. Can we get one more done? Yeah, we can work on this. Yeah, where is our... Yeah, why don't we send... Here's what I want to do. Why don't we send all of these guys from here to the other one. All right, there's nothing needs a... All right, and then we'll make one for now. In the beginning of the next episode, we will make one hopefully good construction office. Right, and then you, I want to have also work on this. So we'll have, the plan for now will be, oh yeah, you know what we're going to be able to use, well, we're going to start asphalting, so that'll be another thing. Maybe not like right away, but I want to come in here and make sure, yeah, see, we're not working on this one. We can get that done. I had all these assigned, and then I stopped it. Oh, are you? Okay. Scrolly thing. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we want to take people up there. Yeah, it looks like all the other buildings over here are actually done. We're just really more waiting on the railroad tracks. But we may send these guys back over there, and we'll come in and make a proper thing once they get up here. But we're kind of running out of time. Let's go down and check our railroad construction. Are they still having to? No. What are you? Ah, okay. So now the question is, do we send? What is this one working on? Yeah, no, I think we should. Yeah, let's just cancel this. Do we have everything we need in here? We have gravel, we have prefab panels. We don't have electrical components, but they should be on the way, right? Oh, that's right. It's not scheduled to go to there. Yeah, and we don't really need electrical components to get going anyway. All right, he's coming back with some. And we will... Yeah, let's send both of these guys up here. It means we can also cut off the buses and the stuff to that other one for a little while. Or do we just leave that? We leave just one of them down there. I think that might be the better plan, huh? So it's a bit of waste of workers. That's right, we don't have workers to this one. Let's go get that done too. Ah, yeah, do we want to just... Let's start this guy. Let's let this other guy get out of here. All right, and this is what I'll do in between the episodes because it's just, I think, mind-numbingly boring. So now that I've constructed all these, this will make this much more efficient getting this done. All right, we're going to come around here and go like that. You can see, so it's, you know, some people actually, I've heard in the comments, refuse to go through that much extra work, but it really does speed things up because now instead of going here and getting this electrical done and then heading back, they're just going to come out and like get the whole thing done. There you go. So let me know what you think. So I'll get this, all of these tracks that aren't electrified already, I'll get them designated to be electrified. Then we can move this other railway crane up there to help this guy. And let's just take a real quick look at what his first assignment will be. All right, we can... Are we not getting any people here? Or did we do like a footpath or something to help you? No. Okay, go out this way. They should be able to go here, right? So what do you... Yeah, see, these guys are all assigned to there. Let's get rid of all of these. And hopefully this doesn't cause problems. We'll have to keep an eye on this. You can only send workers where they are needed or to platforms. Well, they're... You mean where they're needed? They're needed there. Oh, I got it turned off. Which is fine, right? Oh, look, I can't turn it back up. Well, that's a big negative. All right, well, let me see if I can fix that in between the episodes. I don't know what to say about that. After having built all the distribution offices, I don't want to have to go back from that. Can we increase and decrease from another building? Is it just when a building's down to 0? Can I pause time? Will that help? I don't know. Well, if you guys know how to fix that, that's pretty darned annoying. I don't want to have to rebuild the building. Yeah, I mean that's about the only thing I can think of is that it's because these. Let's see. Well, do we want to try to destroy another building? Well, anyway, let me go save the game, and then I'll try some things, see if we can't get straightened out. There you go, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.